The only emperor in Chinese history, he respected his grandnephew as the supreme emperor. Sima Luan, 301, a royal minister of the Western Jin dynasty. During the Three Kingdoms period of China, he was a powerful minister of the Wei state and the ninth son of Sima Yi, the founder of the Western Jin dynasty. Sima Luan was the great-uncle of Sima Zhong, the second emperor of the Western Jin dynasty, and one of the participants in the Eight Kings Rebellion. Sima Yi has a very high IQ, is erudite and talented, and has always flaunted Confucianism. His eldest son Sima Shi and his second son Sima Zhao were both strategists and the founders of the Western Jin dynasty of the Sima family. But his youngest son, Sima Luan, cannot read or write. He is extremely stupid, has no moral education, and has a shockingly low character. Sima Luan once coveted the emperor's official fur coat and actually instructed the emperor's attendants in the palace, including Lu Ji, to bribe palace officials to steal the coat. Stealing imperial property from the palace is considered a grave offense of great disrespect. After the theft was discovered, Lu Ji was sentenced to death. Sima Luan should have received the same punishment as Lu Ji, but Emperor Wu of Jin issued a pardon, sparing his life. The stupid, ridiculous Sima Luan was already a troublemaker. And he favored Sun Xiu, a despicable and shameless gangster who was good at flattery, playing power. The two colluded with each other to do bad things, and the situation became even crazier. In 300 AD, King Sima Luan of Zhao planned a coup to get rid of Queen Jia Nanfeng and all her party members, as well as all the ministers in the court who opposed him. At this time, the two forces of the Empress Dowager and Empress and the auxiliary ministers arranged by the late Emperor Jin Wu to assist his mentally retarded son in power had been eradicated, leaving only the helpless Jin Hui Emperor Sima Zhong. He could only obey Sima Luan's command. Sima Luan proclaimed himself the highest military commander and chief executive in the country, and all political power was controlled by him. Sima Luan was greedy for power, but had no ability to govern. In fact, Sun Xiu was in power. Sun Xiu was born into a poor family and was at odds with the celebrities at that time. Later, when Sun Xiu became a villain, these people were killed by Sun Xiu for various reasons. Sima Luan and Sun Xiu lost the support of celebrities who had many resources in the society at that time. Sima Luan and Sun Xiu's wanton behavior also caused dissatisfaction among the royal family. So Sun Xiu asked Qi King Sima Jiong to leave Luoyang to guard Xuchang. At the same time, Sima Yun, the king of Huainan, was deprived of his military power. However, when Sima Yun examined the edict, he recognized it as Sun Xiu's handwriting. He flew into a rage and killed two officials who were delivering the edict. Soldiers led by Sima Yun surrounded Sima Luan's prime minister's mansion. The two sides fought and defeated Sima Luan's army many times. Suddenly, guards were dispatched from the palace to quell the fighting. They carried an unmarked blank decree and falsely claimed to have an imperial decree to assist King Huainan. When King Huainan, Sima Yun, saw the envoy of his elder brother, the emperor, he had no suspicion and put away his weapons. He knelt down to listen to the imperial edict, and at that moment, Fu Yin took the opportunity to draw his waist knife and beheaded Sima Yun. It turned out that Fu Yin had been bribed by Sima Luan's son, King Sima Qian, to plan the assassination of King Huainan, Sima Yun. Sima Yun was 29 years old at the time of his death. When the people of the capital city heard that this meritorious and outstanding king had been killed, they couldn't help but sigh. Sima Yun, the king of Huainan, was an upright man, and he was respected by the people and the soldiers in charge of guarding the palace. The death of King Huainan fulfilled a very popular ancient Chinese folk saying, "You must not have the intention of harming others, and you must have the intention of guarding against others." There are many people in the world who are unpredictable, unkind, and shamelessly deceitful. You must be simple and generous in your conduct, but you must be alert to avoid unpredictable disasters. This is the correct attitude towards life. In 301, Sima Luan thought the time was ripe, forced Emperor Hui of Jin to abdicate, and usurped the throne and proclaimed himself emperor. After Jin Hui Emperor Sima Zhong abdicated, he was honored as the supreme emperor by his uncle Sima Luan. In the long feudal tradition of ancient China, Tai Shang Huang was often the title of the emperor's biological father, but now Sima Luan uses it to refer to his grandnephew. This is really ridiculous. Sima Luan has poor conduct and is unpopular. In order to appease the dissatisfaction of the court ministers, Sima Luan granted officials and titles on a large scale. Those who followed him were promoted exceptionally, and even the servants, soldiers, and handymen in his family were given titles. Due to the excessive use of official titles, the precious mink tails used for decoration on official hats were seriously insufficient, so they had no choice but to use cheap dog tails instead, which is very ridiculous. Since then, a dog's tail replaces a mink has become an idiom, metaphorically using defective products to appear after treasures. During Sima Luan's reign, all major political affairs were left to Sun Xiaolai to handle. Sun Xiao was a cunning, treacherous, and greedy villain, and the people he promoted and placed in important positions were all evil and sycophants. The government is corrupt, the political situation is chaotic, and the people are complaining. Sima Luan's imperial position was snatched from Sima Zhong, which was not in line with orthodoxy. 3 kings of the Sima family, King Sima Ji of Qi, King Sima Yong of Hejian, and King Sima Ying of Chengdu, raised their troops from their respective fiefdoms to the capital Luoyang to attack Sima Luan. Sima Luan failed in the battle. At this time, all the officials and soldiers wanted to kill Sima Luan and Sun Xiao. Sima Luan's confidant Wang Yu, the commander of the Imperial Guard, rebelled and led his soldiers into the palace, killing Sun Xiao and others in public. He also forced Sima Luan to issue an edict, "I was mistaken by Sun Xiao and others," which made the 3 kings angry. Now that Sun Xiao has been executed, the crown prince will be restored to his throne. I will resign and return to the countryside. Sima Luan usurped the throne in only 4 months. In the end, he had no choice but to return the throne to his nephew, Emperor Hui of Jin. But soon, the court accepted the suggestion of Liang Wang Sima Tong and sentenced Sima Luan to death. When he was dying, Sima Luan was so ashamed that he covered his face with a handkerchief and said repeatedly, "Sun Xiao has harmed me. Sun Xiao has harmed me." He regretted that he should not have listened to Sun Xiao's words and committed the treasonous act of usurping the throne. However, the fate of King Zhao Sima Luan did not alert the other kings of the Sima family and learn a lesson from it. Instead, it made them fight more frantically for control of the central court, thus expanding the Sima family's struggle within the court to a nationwide war.